Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 481. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy,
What's up?
Ori Feinsod,
Yo!
and as always, Tony Korkanakis.
Hello!
Up, guys. Welcome, listeners. Welcome, viewers. 481 Gamecast. This is the boldest of the bold, the predictions episode, where if you listen to the movie cast, we're going to be going over the old bold from 2019. We did it in 2018, but it's 2019.
Didn't do so well last time in the movie cast. So.
I think our games one was much better than we went really nuts with the movie stuff. I think the games one wasn't so bad.
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts.
Corey, you got one right. There's no question on my mind. So you got one right, and we're all going to have to concede that you got that one right. But we'll get to that in a little bit. First things first, guys. We haven't had an actual episode in a while. We've been doing topics like crazy. So let's get into what we've been up to. I will say that all of us here, not all of us, Corey, I don't think you played Fallen Order, did you? And finished it? We've all been up to, like, I know we played Fallen Order since last time we did a podcast. Played and finished. And I didn't get to talk about it, obviously, because I did it during the Christmas season, so we didn't have a podcast. But I wanted to mention how much I really enjoyed this game, and I think we talked about it a little bit on of the years. But I just want to mention it here as well that I really enjoyed that game a lot, and I was playing that. I played a game again that it's like from start to finish. I really enjoyed a Star Wars game finally, and I just. We will do a spoiler cast on this game, I believe. We'll have to schedule that maybe next week or something. But I've been playing that. I finished that and played that. But the other game I am playing right now is Control. Okay. So that is from Remedy, I believe. That's Remedy.
Yes.
Which is I liked Quantum Break. It was kind of sluggish in certain areas and bold in other ones. It's a bold episode. Mm-hmm. Control is kind of very similar. I noticed it doesn't control well. So for Control, it's fine. And the shooting mechanics are fine. They just told me how to cover. I'm playing in this game, and I'm trying to figure out how to take cover, and I'm like, I don't know how to crouch, and I'm like, they finally got to that point. I'm like, oh, okay. That could have been up on the screen like first area because I've had to crouch before, and I'm like, just kind of hoping I don't get shot. But there's some really cool parts of this game that are like really well done in terms of the way you can manipulate the environments and use your powers. It's like basically like again you're playing almost like a Jedi. It's kind of a similar thing but with a gun. So it's I don't know if anybody wants to hear the premise of this because I went pretty dark in this. I don't know if anybody's going to play it, but the premise is like kind of like X-Files. Is the best way I can say. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I still don't know what's going on exactly yet. There's a lot of written information too, which is not, kind of a turnoff sometimes, including for me. It's not like something I want to read every single thing I can find to know exactly what's going on. But the game looks really good, and mostly, like I said, mostly controls well, except for the actual movement aspects of things. Like I can't get her to run properly constantly. Like I just my joystick, she will walk when I'm trying. It's almost like reminds me of tank control. Like almost. It's like you get stuck walking in a certain direction. I'm like, no, I want to run. Because they're shooting me. I want to run. And she just, I can't get her to run certain times. So I've been having that problem with it. But okay. But I'm enjoying the game, playing through it, and that's really the big thing I've been up to game wise for myself. So, Mike.
So like you guys, I played through Fallen Order. Really liked it. I talked about it a few times on the other ones. So won't go into that too much. I've also been jumping around all over the place though with other games. I went back to Battlefront 2 because I started noticing online that a lot of the player base has grown again because of there's been some updates and obviously the movies and Mandalorian and all this stuff. There's a Star Wars resurgence going on. So I went back into that a little bit, and there is some new stuff, the new characters that I haven't played from about a year ago, which is when I played last. There's Obi-Wan Kenobi, there's Anakin Skywalker, there's General Grievous, and there's Count Dooku. And of all of them, I think I like playing Count Dooku the best. Although really? Apparently Anakin is super OP, but I don't like being him.
He's a whiny little sand brat.
Yeah, although he has a voice actor, I think, from the Clone Wars or something, so he has a much deeper voice than he does in the movies. But so it's definitely cool. There's definitely some new stuff, but as I get into it more, I also get annoyed at what's not in it now. At this point, this far through, I'm just like, there should be Mandalorian characters in here by now, or there should be that old game mode that I liked better in the 2015 Battlefront in by now for heroes, villains. But it's the same, but it's different, and there's still a lot of content, and I'm glad that it's sort of resurgent. So that was all right. I've also been playing some Apex Legends. They had their grand soiree event going on where they're rotating different game modes. Some of them are more different than others. The most different one is probably this Dummies Day Out or whatever it's called, where every character is a dummy and you have random sort of like loot drop abilities as your one ability, and then your ultimate is a panic button and you don't know what it does. It either heals everyone in an area or like pops out like a bunch of holograms like Mirage. And then there's also the new character thing that they're like trolling people with. I don't know what's going on with that. I don't really care that much about that, but we'll see. And then other than that, went back to Sonic Mania, played that a little bit, and thought maybe that should have been 10th on my decade list. And then played a little Sea of Thieves again with some of my friends, which I really still don't like that much. But
yeah. I was like, where did that come from? Do you have Game Pass?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, well, actually, it's not that much. I was actually looking on there to what to install.
And I played more Arkham City Challenge modes too.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm looking forward to Ori. Is on there already.
See, so. I'm a little stuck here now. I'm looking through my library because I know there's not going to be a game I want to buy now for like 10 months. So it's not how I planned for this year to go. But
we'll get into that shortly.
I have to wade into my library a little bit. I think this year.
Well, that's why you have Game Pass. Go look on Game. You'll find some good stuff on there. When I'm done with Control, if you want to borrow that, you can give it a shot. Because value-wise, it's not gonna have much value by the time I finish it. So.
Sure.
But yeah, so Tony, what have you been playing?
What have I been playing? I tried out the Dragon Ball Z Kakarot game.
Yeah.
Because GameStop.
Yes, right. Okay, yeah, we had this conversation.
I don't know, Flip Again for like a week, and they had a bonus credit for Kakarot combined with their like guaranteed to love it thing, which is like you can return it within the first 48 hours for full price credit. So I was like, well, I wanted to get Tokyo Mirage Sessions on the Switch because it just got re-released there. But I was like, well, I'll try it for the weekend, see how it is. And it's definitely for the fans. I'm hesitant to call it a good game, like as in like polish and controls and whatnot, because I don't think it is, like whatever. But for the nostalgia, for like seeing the characters do stuff, I think it's fun in that regard. But not worth the entry price right now. I think $20 or $30 is more palpable. So it's a Bandai Namco game. I expect it to be that price within 3 months or so. So
yeah, I mean that's when
I would expect that's when you can pick it up. And
we discussed
probably find I'm sure you can find.
I also tried that game for maybe half an hour.
Right? Yeah, it was just like
for me.
like I've heard there's just not much there because it's like we all know these stories and it's like why
Not even
the
that,
tutorial fight, I was just like, why is this so long? Right?
Yeah,
I was just like, why is it so long?
Like, and like the open world aspect is really badly implemented.
Yeah, I mean, one of it's just like, oh, like go collect apples so she can make us lunch. And I'm just like, look, I love.
And then don't have lunch with Gigi.
Right. It's just like
that was weird.
It's like why I don't want to do this. I don't want to fish in my Dragon Ball Z game, but like whatever.
I heard that there was aspects of like the game where it's like you want to play scenes that are cutscenes in this, but you don't get to play them. You just watch them, and it's like why are they doing this?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think like you said, it's definitely for the fans for sure.
But even then, like as a fan, wouldn't you? I would want to play those sequences. Like, why am I not like playing them?
You are getting to run around as
the characters
in the world, I guess. But yeah.
So that was that, and then I did trade it in and got Tokyo Mirage Sessions. Even though I had it on Wii U, it was like by the time it was released, I think I was just like done with my Wii U. I was like, yeah, just put this aside. Which I'm thankful I did because I saw like a loading comparison, and it's like drastically different, like 6-7 seconds for like fights and stuff like that, and that would just annoy the hell out of me over the course of an RPG. But it's fun. Honestly, I wish they kind of marketed it as like Persona Lite, because that's honestly how it is. It really should have just been marketed as like Persona Crossfire Emblem, and I think it would have been drastically different. Like even if just putting Persona in the name, like I think would have done wonders for it. But it's fun. It's a bit more lighthearted and stuff like that. It's really funny though, playing it now, because the game originally came out before Persona 5 did, and there are things in this game where like you could see like most likely the direct influence, like because I mean it was the same developer, Atlas, working on it. So it's just like the cell phone conversations was one thing, just like traversing around the city and locations and stuff like that. But whatever, it's cool, it's fun.
All right, Corey.
So I haven't played too much, obviously, other than Borderlands, but I did play a bunch of Indivisible because it's on Game Pass. And man, that game is fun. Like I was looking forward to it, and it's like,
Indivisible's on Game Pass?
Yeah, so
They have some good stuff. I'm trying to tell Mike, they got some really good stuff sitting in Game Pass.
God.
And I've been waiting for it to hit Switch, but I'm like, I've just been staring at the Game Pass thing this whole time. I'm like, what, screw it. I'm just gonna play it here because I don't need to buy it on the Switch, but it is so good. Like the art, obviously, that developer is just so good. They did Skullgirls, 2D animation, hand drawn, amazing. It just looks so good, and it's really interesting because it's somewhat of a turn-based RPG, 2D like game, and so you're getting your character, and you have different abilities. So your character, is mapped to X, let's say, and so you can hit up and X, and that'll do like a juggle move, or hit down and X, which will do a different type of attack, and then you get different characters in your party that are now mapped to Y or mapped to A and mapped to B, and so one of them will be a healer, one of them's like a range guy, and one of them's a heavier hitter type tank character. But it's all like turn based in a way where you're have like a little X button that shows up, and like when that fills, you can hit that character and go, and you can do them all at the same time, or you can just wait and take turns and do them. And some enemies will require you to have certain attacks at them, and some of them, will multiple enemies can attack you all at once. And so there's like a super gauge that fills up, and when you can fill that up, you can do a special attack with a specific character, or it's like basically a super attack. And so it's a lot of strategy involved, actually, because like you're trying to because they can attack you individually, the enemies, and they can also attack the entire group. So you can either defend with like the entire group button, or you can defend with the individual buttons. But it's like a timing thing where when you hit defend, it you can fill up your meter faster if you get like a perfect defense. So there's like some like dexterity there that you need to kind of
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Now, did you play Valkyrie Profile, Corey?
I mean, it's been a while, but
that's what the system is. I heard was like based upon was like the nostalgia.
I don't remember it well enough. I mean, that was what PlayStation 1. It's like it just looks so gorgeous, and it's got good humor, and the characters, a minority character, and they do a good job with her. Not being just a generic, white male kind of character. It's a female, obviously here. It's kind of tropey with the, my village burned down, I want revenge, and that kind of thing. But, it's good. Definitely really enjoy the system so far, and the characters are all really, really interesting. And the other game I've been playing on Game Pass is Children of Morta, which is basically like a Diablo-esque action RPG. But there's not loot drops like that. You're not getting like enemies aren't just blowing up like confetti, but it's got the same combat style, I would say, but it's got a 8-bitish graphic style to it where I don't know. I'm just not a big fan of that. Like they do a good job here, and there's a lot going on, and it's obviously they're doing it for the visuals and not because it's constraints by the system or anything, but at the same time it just makes things harder to look at sometimes. So but I like the gameplay in it. Children of Morta, it's got really good action RPG aspects to it, so that's what I've been up to.
Okay, all right, let's see, we got some news to cover here. Well, not much. I mean, it's been delays, guys. I mean, it's not great news. Since we've been podcasting, there have been.
Let's see, like 6 game delays.
God, I was trying to list them, and I'm like, no, let's just go over it here. We'll figure out the list.
Screwing up all my bold predictions.
Yeah, for a while we thought this spring would be so full of games, and
yeah, I mean, there's a small delay for Final Fantasy VII had a small delay till April.
1 month. Yep.
Yeah. Cyberpunk is huge. That's September now.
Are we really surprised? That's the thing. Are we surprised?
No. And in fact, one of my bold predictions is going to delay another game longer.
Oh, so you and me both, bud. I want to get the same one.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not that bold then.
No, it's just me. We're back to the generation of delays, and me with this.
But I think let's get on to what else has been delayed. So we
got Dying Light 2 that was delayed. I don't even know when that's coming. That's infinitely delayed.
They haven't announced it. They don't want to.
It's a massive delay. Avengers went from May until
September. I think it ended up very close.
They're right next to Cyberpunk.
Yeah.
So that's I don't think. Whatever, we'll talk about it.
I think what it was is like a lot of, I mean, not realistically, but in my mind, it plays out like all these publishers were playing a game of chicken. Like we're all releasing in like a 2-month window. It's like who's gonna push out? And like all of them pushed out, and it's like, wait, now we're just all fighting in September. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna stay like that.
Yeah. Same here.
No, I don't think so either, and that's what we'll get into that a little bit. What other games got delayed? I have I didn't get all of them on the list. That's what I listed so far.
I mean, Avengers, Cyberpunk,
Dying Light,
and then the little one for Final Fantasy.
Is that it? What else is coming out earlier this year that's all sticking to it so far?
So far, but I mean, more coming up.
Well, Doom Eternal's not coming this year, right?
Oh, it is. It is.
Oh, it is.
Releasing the same day as Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that got delayed, didn't it? Animal Crossing.
They both got delayed. They both got delayed from last year because they were both supposed to come out.
I'm thinking about last year. That's right. Yes. So okay. So those are on the same day. And I heard Doom Eternal looks awesome.
2016 was pretty good.
Yeah. I think that's it for delays. I'm sure we're missing one. There's so many delays like in the same 3-day span.
There will be more delays. This is not the end of the delays.
We have in the first month of 2020.
This is the tip of the iceberg, as they say.
I mean, I don't know. There's a lot. I mean,
what else we got, Jim? News.
I'm looking it up. News-wise, we've got. Hang on, opening up my news. Silent Hill. Silent Hill is reported to be getting a reboot through Konami.
I heard 2 games.
And I heard 2 games. Yes, that's what we're.
Silent Hills. So it is true. Wasn't that the title at the end of PT? Silent Hills?
Yeah. Now, the weird part about this is Konami's not making games.
Oh, Last of Us 2 got pushed back a little bit too, didn't it?
That did.
Or was that already?
No, that
was delayed from they delayed last year. They announced a delay.
But I thought it got delayed slightly again. No? Or no? I could be wrong. Sorry.
Yes. I don't know.
It did get delayed. They had announced it was going to come out at a certain time, and then it wasn't coming out at that time anymore.
Okay.
So
gotcha. Yeah, sorry.
So the 2 games in Silent Hill, one is an actual Silent Hill game, soft boot of the franchise. The other is an episodic Telltale style game. I wouldn't be surprised if that game already had gotten canned, considering Telltale's fiasco that fell in. But we're going to report they're making both games, so that's what we're hearing. The fact that Konami's still making a game, do we get something like the PT?
No.
Probably not.
They wouldn't be that bold.
No, they'll probably try to do something that on the surface resembles it and just screw it up.
I actually think that they saw the reception to Resident Evil remake or RE2 remake, and I think that's what they're going to go for. Just why mess with
the dollars?
Just get the money.
It's like, hey, you guys love this remake from this other company about a horror game. We're gonna do the same thing. Nostalgia.
This time, randomly in the game, there will be pachinko machines you can play. So, no, I think they will reboot Silent Hill 2. I think they'll remaster Silent Hill 2. That's what I think will happen. But will we get a new game? That's what this is saying, but I don't think that's happening. So I'd be shocked to see, because I mean, right now you can easily say, fuck Konami, and it's that sticks and that holds. I mean, right now that holds.
Fuck Konami, the new fuck Capcom.
Yes, so the 2020 of Capcom. Yep. But that's been like this for a couple of years. So the other news I had was this is more important news. This is really good. I hope this is true. Knights of the Old Republic getting remakes. That's those two games. EA is apparently remaking these games. Obviously, we're never going to get a sequel to these games. We're not. They have the Star Wars license. They have BioWare, but there's these problems with the pieces going together. They just can't
BioWare
make
only
that
made one of them.
Yeah.
Guys, we have to wait for the bold predictions later, right?
Okay.
We're not talking about it now, right?
I know. No, I'm just
teasing. I know. I'm just teasing. But
I am looking forward to if they remaster these games, much like they did, like Resident Evil 2.
That would be great for me because I haven't played them. I want to. I actually downloaded them on Game Pass, but I don't feel like
they're
playing old games so much.
They're so dated. It's like I had it on the iPhone. I got it for free, the Knights of the Republic. I'm like, I loved that game. Like, loved it, and I love the story, but it's so dated right now. I'm like, oh.
So if this happens, be right up my alley.
Yeah, I forgot to mention, I also played Mass Effect 2, and it's still really good.
That holds up.
It holds up really well, actually.
Cool. That's really it for news. It's been quiet at the beginning of this year. That's why we really haven't covered much.
We got these predictions to get into. So
let's do the bold predictions now. Let's do it.
Let's do what we did last year. Let's go. We already teased it a little bit.
All right, let me find the piece of paper. Here we go. I'll kick us off here.
I wasn't on this one either, was I?
No, but
you weren't.
You did we did mention something where
Tony
I had a
ton.
prediction.
I'm starting with Tony because Tony had a ton on this episode. The Last of Us 2 not hitting in 2019.
Woo! Nailed it.
Yeah, we did pretty well on these. I will follow up with a loss for Tony because he's got so many. PS5, spring 2020.
Yeah, no, I remember that.
Yeah, that was a miss. Corey, I can't. Anthem will be successful.
You want bold. I'll give you bold.
It did end up. What was it like? It did end up on like the final year NPD list, though. It wasn't like the flop of flops.
Fair enough. I mean, financially,
there's no chance that game is. How do you? I guess financially, you want to try to say it's successful. It's not even financially. Though.
I mean, we thought
it for $9.95.
We thought it would tank the company if it failed, though, and it didn't.
And I would argue that Bioware is dead.
I mean,
we're gonna get to that.
We could be talking about
that. We will be talking about that. Spoiler.
That will be coming up soon. I did agree with Tony that The Last of Us is not coming in 2019 as well. So we both hit that bold prediction.
By the way, Anthem ended up at number 15 for the year. So
it's in the top 20.
Yeah, better than Death Stranding.
So.
For a game that was like a lot of money invested, there's no way it made back its money.
Yeah, but Death Stranding was also released like last quarter of the year.
That game has
PlayStation.
Anthem has microtransactions.
Tony, you and I overlapped.
That's garbage. We can all agree. Come on.
Yeah.
Tony, you and I overlapped on this as well. Switch revision happening in 2019. Which
half a point, I guess, because
I guess
technically did do it, but not.
Well, you got another model, a brand new model.
You're right.
That's why I said it was a revision. Yeah, we got the Switch Lite. Sorry, I almost called DS Lite. But I'll give us a half point for that. It's not like what we were talking about. We were talking about a Pro unit.
Yeah.
Which we were getting this.
Got a better battery.
We're gonna be talking about that one this
Yes, we were talking about that a little bit too. So, all right. Let's see more from Tony because Tony's got so many. Microsoft owned character in Smash Brothers, Banjo, specifically.
Nailed
it. Corey, Master Chief in Smash Brothers.
That didn't nail it.
Didn't happen. I'm not like picking out your bad ones.
No, that's fine.
You only had 5 total, and Tony had like 20. So, you had so many. My other one I have is Nintendo announces a new Zelda game, for 2020 though. Now, they did announce a new one, because exactly what I was talking about. You were talking about assets being reused. Breath of the Wild 2 was shown.
Yeah.
And I didn't give it a release date yet.
You're right. Yeah.
But I will happily double down this year.
Yeah.
I'll give half a point myself. But I'm gonna happily.
Well, you said it was getting announced. It got announced.
It did. Yeah, but I did say for 2020, like specifically. I thought they'd give a release date.
You don't think Breath of the Wild comes out in 2020?
Bold predictions coming up. So. Yeah, I'll get that other half point real soon. Because absolutely. Corey said that Days Gone will be a colossal flop.
Ooh.
It wasn't colossal. It was not colossal.
No, it was a bad game though. I would be willing.
It was a bad game.
I would be willing to give you a half point.
I'll take half a point, but when I'm thinking colossal flop, because Sony's just on riding that high.
Days
And
Gone
it
ended
was
up
just
at
fun.
number 8.
What you
for the
did nail
year.
the wait? What did it score? Because Corey said this game will get like a 6 with the bump.
Oh, with the Sony bump, I don't
And
know.
I think he's right. I think he's
What?
right.
The Metascore?
Yeah,
no,
the
it's
Metascore
much
is good.
higher than that, I think.
For Days Gone, no.
Yeah, I think it's much higher.
Look it up.
If it's in the 60s, he's got this.
Oh, I think it's like at least 70s. It could be 80.
71.
Yeah, so close.
All right. So you only get a half point then.
No.
Tony, here we go. These two go together. This is Tony and Corey. Here we go. Persona 5 Complete will be on Switch, or it won't be. Who got that one?
Well, you know I got that one.
Yeah. Yep.
Corey got one right there. There's a check mark, Corey. Your first real check.
One of us had to win that one.
Yep.
Nope.
Tony predicted a discless Xbox. I don't think we got that.
It's not
yet. Too early.
Not last year.
Yeah, not last gen. Let's see. I predicted that we would have a price drop on the Switch, which we did not get. Nintendo holds firm.
Yeah.
Nope.
I mean, the games still sell for full price. I mean, it came out at launch.
Tony predicted that Fortnite will decline and dwindle its coverage, and both Corey and Tony did this one as well.
Yeah.
Which I think we're right on that one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Apex kind of took its spotlight a little bit.
It hit its peak.
Popular.
Both of you said it hit its peak.
Yeah, I don't think it's getting more popular.
Yeah.
Sure.
I said that Banjo-Kazooie, the proper game, will be on Switch, whether that be a remake or a new game, which we didn't get right. They didn't remaster that for the Switch, did they?
No.
I was hoping we'd get like a digital version of the original. Tony wrote, Mario Sonic crossover. That includes an Olympic game and then an actual game.
Okay.
So
Uh,
you
half
get a half
point. Yep.
The
I mean, the Olympic one was obvious. Just
we
because
knew. We all said it like,
Yeah.
But
you get
at
half
the same
points.
time.
And then I said that Xbox will have a full reveal of its new console with a 2020 launch, which we didn't really get a full reveal of that console yet.
So have a point. Yeah. I'd give you half a point.
The Game Awards was pretty. They showed the console.
I know, but I
Series
said
X.
an early 2020 launch, so I think I'll give myself.
Oh.
That's a no pointer. That's a no pointer.
Oh, okay.
So I'll give myself no point. I'll be harsh. So Tony got 1, 2, 3 right and 2 halves. So you got a nice little 4-point check there. And then Corey got 2.5 checks, and I got 2 checks total with my 2 halves. So pretty good round.
We did better than the movies.
Yes, I said we did. I knew we did, but all right. Let's get into our bold predictions for 2020. Mike, didn't hear from you because you were off that podcast. So what are you starting off with here?
My bold prediction. I'll try not to steal someone else's with my first one.
No, we had overlap.
All right. So my. Okay.
I mean, Tony said like Tony's first 3. I think I threw on the podcast. I heard myself.
I remember you're like,
yep.
I'm gonna go kind of 2-part with this one. I'm saying the Avengers game gets delayed again, and even when it does release, it's gonna suck.
All right. One of my bold predictions is Avengers games will not release this year.
I didn't say this year, but I did say it will have another delay. So that's 3 of us that don't think Avengers is coming this year.
Yeah.
Well, just to play devil, I'll say it will make this year no matter what, even if it's shitty.
Now,
I still think it'll be shitty no matter what.
You say it's not coming this year either way. Do you want to go on the record for next year saying it's a shit game? Just in case it comes this year, do you want to say it's a piece of shit?
Me?
No, that was Mike. I think he said that.
Yeah, 2 parts. I'll still say it's going to be bad.
Just in case it comes out this year, you can get a half point. So
yeah.
All right. Corey, give me one here.
Horizon Zero Dawn will be a PlayStation 5 launch title.
Ooh.
Wait, did you say which one?
Horizon Zero Dawn 2.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, 2.
I didn't know you said 2. Okay.
Will be a PlayStation 5 launch title.
A remastered version.
It's bold. I don't know if it makes launch, but I know it is in production. But does it make launch? I don't think so. Tony.
We'll start off small and we'll grow up. So I will follow up from last year and say we will finally get a Switch Pro revision this year.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I agree. I'm
bold predicting this as well, but I did say holiday 2020.
Yeah, that's one I would expect. It maybe a little bit before, but yeah, I think
it's happening this year finally.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and I think holiday 2020 makes sense because that's when we're getting the other systems.
new consoles,
yeah. So
gotta get something new and shiny for them.
Yeah, that was the one I felt like that's a pretty safe one.
So starting off.
Yeah. All right, Mike, give us another one.
All right, I'll go to my wheelhouse here. So the WB Montreal Batman game will be announced and then released within a 6-month time period.
All right.
Okay.
I'm going to counter this bold prediction saying that the WB Batman game will not be officially announced this year.
I will say that the Batman WB game will be released this year.
I didn't have that on my bold predictions, but I will be happy to say that I don't think they're going to announce a game at this point this year.
They will announce it and they will release it this year.
Yeah.
You were even like more stipulations on yours, like with the 6-month period, but I do think that it gets announced and it gets released this year.
It's not happening. They're teasing for nothing.
Okay.
So, all right. Who's next? Corey? Oh, you were giving.
Sure.
Okay.
I can do another one.
Okay, go ahead, another one.
I'll keep it with the PlayStation 5 family here. PlayStation 5 will get its release date and price with their February announcement that they have coming up. It's going to be.
Is that official? I don't think that's happening, but.
Well, no, February thing's happening.
Official.
It's going to happen. Well, I mean, okay, I'll throw that in my bold predictions. It will be announced in February. Sony will announce PlayStation 5 will release this year, November 13th for $399.
I'm about to destroy your world on this one.
All right, just because you said that, I'm going to counter with my bold prediction. The base systems, not like this bullshit like the
high ends
for the baby versions, like the ones that gamers will want, the higher end one, $499 for both systems.
Nope, I'll go even higher than you.
Oh.
My bold prediction for both the Xbox One X, the Xbox Series X, I'm sorry, and the PS5 are $600 for the big high end models.
They just want to kill themselves, apparently.
No, they will both be $600. There's no question.
You will be able to buy a PlayStation 5 for $399.
All right.
Yes. Oh, I'm not saying you won't be able to. I have an Xbox Series X, not Series X, but Series S will be $400 as well. I think they'll both have a $400 console, but they will have a $600 high end.
Okay. Oh, so you're not saying that's the only one? Okay.
No, there'll be
the higher end one. Whatever.
The higher end.
The higher end one will be $600. I know what Tony's saying. He'll be saying it'll be $5. I'm saying it's $6.
And so I'm gonna branch off this. With the release of both these systems in around fall, they will have, for that launch window, they will have historically low hardware sales.
Ooh.
Both systems.
Wow.
Like the worst in like 2 or 3 generations.
Okay.
You got dates?
That is
guys?
bold. That is bold.
Dates? No.
November. Was it? It was Halo Day. November 13th.
I don't know.
I think it's November 13th if I remember right. It's going to be Halo Day for Microsoft.
I can actually see September for one of them. I think November is a little late. They want to get those shipments out, like the massive first launch, but we'll see. I'm not predicting that, just my guess.
Yeah, no, I got you. I'm just because I called it out. November 13th was my date.
Oh, I think November 13th is the date it gets released. The Xbox Series X. I think PlayStation is October.
Okay.
So, and I think the Switch Pro, I would put in September.
I could definitely see September.
Yeah. I'd be absolutely willing to put. Yeah, I think it's going to be November.
Because that's when they did the Switch Lite, I think, right?
I'm flipping ahead to my calendar to tell you what makes the date that makes sense. November 13th. November 13th is the day. Yep, November 13th for the Xbox Series X. Okay. I don't have a date in October though in mind for the PS5, but
I didn't even realize that was the date for Halo. So
I don't think it is. That's the Friday of that year. So
no, that's why I think
November.
Friday 13th.
Do you remember your Xbox Live used to always renew in November? It was like November 12th. I can't remember when it was exactly, but I know that was like the day. November 15th was the actual like launch date for Xbox Live, and that's usually a very important date for Microsoft. But it doesn't make sense on the calendar, so I think it's going to be the 13th because it's Sunday, the 15th. Okay. So, all right, Tony, do you have another one?
Yeah. So just going along with Corey's PlayStation lineup, I think Sony is going to bold prediction continue their announcement of promising projects way early on and just showing the bare minimum that we're going to see for the next 3-4 years. So I'm going to say Bloodborne 2 will be announced / at least shown in some capacity, even just like a teaser bullshit. Spider-Man 2, obviously Horizon Zero Dawn 2, and God of War 2.
All coming out in 2022.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Probably. All right, Mike.
I don't feel like this is that bold, but I'm going to say Cyberpunk is going to disappoint.
Like, are you talking about critically or commercially?
Both.
Both.
Wow. I mean, it's gonna. I think it'll sell, but I understand your disappointment possibly.
I think it's
too weird for people.
So when you say critically, do you think like lower than mine?
It's got Keanu Reeves.
I think more critically than commercially. Obviously, there's a better chance for that, but I don't think anything can live up to the amount of hype it's garnered, and I think it's been delayed so many times. I think people are starting to get a little frustrated with it.
Yeah, I mean, my other bold prediction here that I have is you're gonna have to wait till 2021 for Cyberpunk.
So I said Avengers comes out next year, and you're saying Cyberpunk.
Yeah, Cyberpunk 100% is 2021 in my opinion. There's no way it makes this year.
Okay.
Like in my opinion, that's not a bold prediction.
No, I
was honestly kind of surprised it got delayed since it got delayed so many times already.
It's the style of the game. No. It'll be next gen, which is great for them, but
they would have to start it over again.
The thing is like because if you don't have a next gen version of it ready, these consoles are going to be launching right around when this game's going to come out, and it's like
no one's going to buy them, like I said.
yeah. No, maybe, but I feel like you're missing. I mean, obviously you're going to release the last gen version of it as well, but I think you need to launch them all at the same time. So I just don't see it coming out like that. So, let's see. We did Corey. We did Tony.
Oh, back to me already. I thought
we did Corey. Corey, you can.
No,
give me another.
I like that one. Elden Ring will have exclusive DLC for Xbox Series X and come out this year.
Ooh.
Wow. Ooh. Wow.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
Tony.
Interesting. I think I talked about this already before, but I definitely think we're seeing more Microsoft collaborations on Nintendo Switch, including Master Chief Collection, and possibly more stuff like Rare Replay or something else. I think it's been working out. Cuphead and Ori have both done fantastically. They're always on the sales charts, so I think we want to keep that
momentum going. Yeah,
momentum. Possibly Banjo again. We'll see.
Oh, I'll jump ahead. I'm gonna jump ahead here because my tie-in here is Project xCloud is going to release on the Switch as well this year.
Okay. Yep.
I will also piggyback on this, but I'm gonna go in a different direction, and that one of the new 6 characters in Smash will be from a PlayStation exclusive character.
Ooh.
God of War.
Kratos.
Kratos. No, I think that they're gonna do a little collabo here.
So like you're talking about Sony itself, like a Sony,
not Joker.
You're telling me that the company that like just opens things up to help because people complain enough to them is going to just suddenly say, here, you can have one of our characters in your game?
I think that the fact that Smash is just so huge, right? Is like they've seen that Banjo's there, and Terry is in there. Like there's so many like out of these like
they just want in.
Yeah, they want in. They want in. Like give me like Alloy would be great. Like character, especially with Zero Dawn coming out. Like something like that. I don't think it's Kratos, but I think it's going to be Sony family.
If it be anybody, it's gonna be Kratos. So
I mean, fuck, you get Nathan Drake in there, whatever.
Yeah. All right, Mike.
All right, we're getting to the bolder part, and I know I'm going to get the reverse prediction for this one from at least 2 of you. This year, Bioware announces a new Mass Effect game.
Ooh. Well, if they're around.
If they exist.
I'm not trying to counter that specifically, but I predict that we are going to endure a lot of hardships for Bioware, but I think EA is privy to how much backlash they get, so they won't formally announce like the closure of the studio, but a dramatic
Yeah.
a reduction in workforce and scope to the point where Anthem is just being worked on by a skeleton crew, and the majority of their staff are folded into other teams throughout EA as an entity.
Okay. All right, Corey.
There will not be a Nintendo 64 classic.
You're right.
I agree.
I can see that.
I think you were right.
I can see that. I think it would have done it this past year. They had it.
I have another one here. Crash Bandicoot will have a new game on the PS5 exclusive.
Ooh.
I definitely agree with you that there's a new Crash game. Don't know if it's exclusive. If it did,
that's really the bold part. Is the
Right,
the exclusive part is the bold part, and it launching with the PS5.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So I think that'll be a launch title. Tony.
Okay.
I'm out of order. I have no idea.
It's all right. We'll skip around a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to predict that for the most part, these consoles are going to be so similar, despite whatever gimmicks they're going to say. But before launch, there'll be one issue that is just so fucked, like in terms of like why are they doing this, and it's going to become a sticking point for the console wars again.
TV.
Right. Just like the TV, or like, PlayStation will be like $100 more expensive than the Xbox, something like along those lines, where just like, got fanboys in a tizzy and all that shit. So that's what I think.
There will be something. Okay, I'm sure there will be. There'll be some stupid memory thing protocol that's going to be like, oh, this can't do this.
Yep.
All right, Mike.
Okay, there's no evidence for this. This is sort of semi-wishful thinking here. So we're going. Well, first of all, part one is we're going to finally get an announcement for Rocksteady's new game this year.
Oh, 2 Batman games get announced this year.
No.
It will not be a Batman game.
Part 2 is we know it's not a Batman game.
Oh.
And while I hope it's a Justice League game, the only other alternative that I would accept, and that's what I'm going to go with here, Ninja Turtles Rocksteady.
Nice. I like it.
Interesting.
That's bold.
Where are you pulling that one from? Jeez. Is it just wishful thinking bold? Is that?
People have been clamoring for a little while that they thought Rocksteady should do a Ninja Turtles game, and there hasn't been like a dedicated Turtles game in a little bit. And if we know it's not a Batman game, but something sort of kind of along those lines,
honestly,
something like that.
I would. This is not a prediction for this year. This is next year. I'll make this now for 2021 that Rocksteady's game gets announced and it's a Superman game, but not until 2021.
Don't we know it's not a Superman game?
It's going to be a Superman.
We know nothing. We know
nothing. That's the thing. Everything we know is.
You will not know anything this year about it, though.
It's like pulling it out of their ass. And being like,
I think they'll probably.
I just made a 2021 prediction, but.
All right.
They won't announce anything. They won't.
Okay.
They're going to wait for Montreal. Montreal's going to take their ass time, so they're not going to do shit.
Their ass time.
Their ass time. So.
Montreal round E3 announcement around like October release for that Batman game.
No, not happening this year. Sorry. Tony. Wait, Corey.
Sure, I'll give you a bold one. The Xbox Series X will have swappable components inside.
Whoa. Going on full on PC here? PC.
Might as well. I mean, that's what they are now.
Wow. They are. Yeah, they are. That's bold. You think that drive's removable, just like a slot pull?
Possibly.
Solid state slot?
Something where, like, they make it easy, but they don't make it like a PC where it's confusing for people, but still, I think that, it could happen.
I think you could do something cool with, like, almost like the old-fashioned way. Now we're getting into bizarre things, but almost make it like removable panels on the back of the console where you can, like, pop out the memory, like an actual, like, pop-out plastic. All the memory modules come out. Buy a memory module thing specifically for the Xbox Series X and pop it in.
Like
same
the
thing with the
360
solid state.
had that memory.
Yes.
That hard, whatever they did.
The hard drive thing. Yep.
Yeah.
The hard drive slot thing. And I can see them doing that with a solid state drive bay. Like its own kind of proprietary bay, where you can go out and buy yourself a solid state drive with the enclosure. Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, they have to make it where it's foolproof. Like, you can't break the system.
I mean, to be like swapping out components that's really the only components really you could swap. I mean, I guess video cards.
It is. I mean, but who knows what they do.
All right, Tony.
I predict that Google Stadia will be just Not really too
Dead.
bold, but I think it's going to be dead by the end of the year already.
I agree.
It will be.
I agree.
Nothing. Like they might not like outright say, "Oh, it's dead," but it's just
It'll
like
be on
there's no
par with the
update.
Ouya at this point.
Right. Ouya. It's like,
Ouya.
what?
Ouya. You already forgot the name of
Ouya.
it. Ouya.
Oh yeah, I knew you. Ouya.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Breath of the Wild 2, holiday 2020.
I could see that.
Go.
Yeah. That was a safety one, but
Mm-hmm.
it's happening this year. There's no doubt in my mind.
Here's a weird one, and I'm not sure, based on the reception and maybe some fallout, maybe something else will happen, but at some point this year, and it might not be permanent, Hideo Kojima will announce his retirement from the game industry.
Okay.
Just open up a studio. That's bold. Bold.
What? Almost like Respawn opening a studio and then selling themselves to EA.
I think he's
some pillar.
fed up.
Still working.
He's still working.
He's potentially fed up with how Death Stranding was received, and I think something will push him over the edge, and he'll
go host some game shows, or
he'll announce his he'll make movies or something, or shorts. He'll announce his temporary retirement. He'll say he's retiring. He'll probably be back, but I think we'll get a temporary retirement from Kojima.
Okay. All right, Corey.
Sure.
How many more you guys got left?
A couple more.
Okay. Wow.
There will be a new Mario Kart game announced.
Whoa.
Ooh, all right, that is bold. That is bold.
Since, like,
they've been selling the same one for like 5 years.
I know.
Wow.
That's why it's bold.
All right, Tony.
I'll double down on one of my predictions last year. I think we see another Mario like Insonic collaboration in some.
You think that game's happening now this year?
I think it's gonna happen at some point, or at least
announced this year.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
All right. I think my boldest prediction on this list. This is my only. I can probably come up with more as we talk, but my bold prediction I have on my list. Last one I think I have here is this year, coming out this year, Street Fighter 6.
Ooh, exclusive to something, or just?
I don't think this will be exclusive. I think Capcom's got that whole thing done, but I believe Street Fighter 6
would not have been made without. Being
yes,
exclusive.
but I think the way they did 5 in terms of, releasing the content, making money that way, I think it's paved the way to make 6, and that will be multi-platform.
Cool.
And it will be this year.
Ooh, nice.
So
that is bold.
That is bold. Yeah. So I know they're working on it, but I think it's this year. So, Mike.
I guess by the end of the year, probably near the end of the year, Injustice 3 will be announced.
Yeah. I could see it.
That's pretty. Expecting it. Does it get announced and released this year?
No, I don't think it's not going to get released this year. They're definitely moving slower, that company, than before. They're still releasing all their DLC for like.
I mean, they haven't even. Yeah, Spawn's not even out yet.
So they're going to announce and then release it. Probably not even their normal fall. I mean, springtime the following year. It might even be later, but it's going to be announced, I think, by the end of the year. I hope.
Cool.
Corey.
All right, this is my last bold prediction, and it's more of a like. Who knows? Like it's out of nowhere kind of prediction. There will be a auto chess game on console that's battle royale style.
Wow. Interesting. Okay. That's interesting. All right.
I mean, it's just people don't want to play anymore. Just like let them buy all the goodies and then just throw them out there and see how they do in a battle royale.
Okay. All right, Tony.
I had one that I just thought of. I'll just go and say that I think EA is going to try to win a lot of goodwill back this year in other aspects, kind of like the Knight of the Old Republic kind of thing. I think they finally realized
Mass
that
Effect remake. I think we'll get all that.
Right. I feel like they're like this is the year where like they want to be like, hey, yeah, like Mass Effect. Like HD,
remember what
remake,
we were
right. Like remember when we released good games and stuff like that. I think that's like they're going to try to do that this year.
Yeah,
cool.
I think go on, Mike. Any more?
I mean, this is only bold because I heard that there was actually some like sabotage done by Sega, but to this development team. But I'm going to say a Sonic Mania sequel is announced, and it's bold because apparently they did it's been due. But I did read somewhere that like Sonic team like sort of. I don't know what they did. They sort of sabotaged them in some way, but
Yeah, they're jealous. They couldn't make a better Sonic game than the fans.
no, I know. The Sonic Forces, was that the one that came out then with that weird Avatar thing?
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, that was terrible. So, who's got more?
That was my last one. I did 10.
Oh, I got one more.
Okay, go ahead.
I think Amazon is finally going to jump in big with gaming this year and try to capitalize with their Twitch integration in ways that we haven't seen before.
Okay.
Cool. Try to show up Google.
Yeah, I mean, they've been doing something, right? They bought all these little game studios, so gotta do something with them.
All right.
You got anything?
That's it. I went through all mine.
Tapped?
So, yeah. All right. That's it for our predictions, bold predictions for 2020. So we have coming up next week is most anticipated. I'm going to lock us in on that one. So let's work on that. And so we'll be doing those lists. I'll go back and listen real quick to see what our most anticipated was last year, but for each of us. But all right, so that's gonna wrap up 481 of the Gamecast. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, whatever it is. All those good stuff. We've got more stuff coming our way. We got topics. We've got spoiler cast for Fallen Order coming soon. Look for that. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. See you guys next week.